Hello Max. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing well. You ready
You
to
ready
start?
to
Ready to
you
start?
ready to do your run?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Well then, without further ado, I'll just pause here.
Alright. So, before time starts, we can actually start a new game and fiddle with some of our settings. Time starts on our first movement, and so um, I can just count that down if we're good with that.
Sure.
Alright. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is The Witness, game released in 2016 by Jonathan Blow and Tekla Inc. It's a 3D puzzle game where you walk around this island and solve puzzles. And in this beginning area, we're just going to be basically given mazes to solve, and that will enough mazes in this area will open a door to give us access to the rest of the island. So this is basically a tutorial, and then there are 11 areas in this game that will give us a laser, and as you can probably guess, we'll be going to all of the 11 areas. For any percent, you would only need to do 7 of those areas, and well, there's 4 extra ones that we're going to be doing in this one, and there's a little extra bonus puzzle thing that the game gives us for completing all the lasers. So we'll be doing that at the end of this run. For now, we're going to head to our first area, which is going to be over here at this dock house thing. Puzzles based around symmetry over here. And so over here, we get our first little puzzles over here. I'll try not to spoil too much how these puzzles work so that you can have a fresh experience if you have not played this game yet. However, with the symmetry puzzles, it's not too hard to figure out what exactly I'm trying to do here. Get some more over here. And something you might notice is that with those, I was solving them from a different angle. You can solve panels from basically any angle possible in this game, and that can allow for some pretty cool, like, solving puzzles from a long distance that we'll be doing later in this run. And for now, we're just going to be doing more of this area. You might have noticed that I was also opening that door from a distance, and that's because the door there and a lot of things like that door open fairly slowly, and so I want to maximize how much it's open before I get there to minimize the time loss, and I do that by opening the door from a distance. Now we're going to get these puzzles with blue and yellow dots, which are going to make for some interesting lines that we draw, I suppose. Then the hardest thing about this game for any runner is the mouse movement and executing the solutions to the puzzles. Once you're getting started, you might get tripped up by not remembering the solutions to puzzles, but at a certain point you remember all the puzzles, and it's just entirely a test of how well you can move your mouse to do the lines that are needed in each of these puzzles, and I'll try to do that the best that I can. And then for the last little bit for this laser, we open this door, and then the info for these puzzles is actually on the right side of this little area here, but we don't need to do those ones. We just have to do the ones on the left to activate our first laser here. So it makes it a little interesting thing where you look at what the puzzle info is giving you on the right, and then you can remember or write down the solutions so that you can solve the ones on the left side. Now we're headed for our second area, which is this desert palace thing over here. We're gonna solve that puzzle from a distance, and that will open this door over here, or help us open this door here. These puzzles are interesting because they're hexagonal. The grids on these panels are hexagonal, and most of the puzzles in this game that we're going to be dealing with are based around square grids. That's too bad. When you get greedy and try to save frames and end up losing frames. And so this area is unique because there's a lot of hexagons instead of the squares that you're going to get in basically any other area. And it actually makes it a bit harder to get the correct lines that you want because the angles between different lines are smaller than with squares. It's a little geometry knowledge for you. So in this room you're supposed to raise and lower water levels, but we can actually just solve this panel over here, which just unlocks the door. Solving the other panels in the room give you the info to solve that one. Then in this room, these puzzles over here open the latches on this elevator, but we can get a precise angle and just completely skip everything in this room. And after this, we'll just be heading for our next laser, so if there are any donations or announcements, now's a good time.
Yeah, sure. So that was a really good time actually, because Eugene just rated us for party 11. So welcome everyone from the raid. Thank you so much for your support. Since there are some people just joining us, I will point out our currently open bid and bid war. Sorry. So we have an incentive for the secret ending of Conqueror's Peak, which involves a secret boss fight that Heiko will get to fight, and we're 188 out of 300 towards that. So if you have the opportunity, we can get that pretty quick here. And then we do have a banana bid war going on for Deltarune, depending on whether we get the banana or not. So make sure to join in for that one as well. Go ahead, Max.
Alright, so what I'm trying to do here is open a gate from far away. And what that does is it saves us 20 seconds of having to wait for the gate to open, and basically it's a lot faster to open that gate from far away. Obviously it's a lot harder too as well, but as speedrunners we're not super focused on what's easiest, we're focused on what's fastest, of course. I'm gonna raise this platform and while...
Can I take a quick second here?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I want everyone in chat, if you're in favor of bananas, to push 1. I want you to type 1, and if you're against the bananas, I want you to press 2. Okay, continue your explanation, sorry.
Alright. So as this panel raises, we're just solving these puzzles over here. And then one more puzzle over here for us to do. And then there's actually a way to solve this over here and lower the stairs here. And that saves a bunch of time, but it's like super hard, and I'm not quite at the world record level to do that, but it's cool that there's lots of neat little things you can do from a far distance. Now we are over in this there's 2 areas of this quarry, and so that was the mill over there, and then we're at this boathouse here, and by doing puzzles in both of these areas we can unlock the laser for this area. And after doing this puzzle, here is where we would have to wait a super long time for a gate to open over here, but we just have it opened already, and we can just head over here to do the next puzzle, the next set of puzzles. Wrong one. Alright. And then after this, we're gonna head to a jungle treehouse area, which can only be accessed by boat. And the boat is actually quite slow, and so as you could probably guess, we don't do that in any percent. But then we'll head over to the treehouse area next, do some more puzzles over there. While we wait for the boat to get over there, if there's any other donations or anything.
Sure. Well, what I wanted to say is everyone who put a number in chat, I want you to take that number and I want you to donate that amount to the bid of your choosing.
You know, I would say multiply that number by 10 and then donate that.
Yeah, I agree with that, but you know, I want everyone to be able to participate.
True. Except
for Death Control, I know, and you guys are gonna have to spend more than everyone else. With that said, obviously you don't have to donate, but if everyone who typed in chat donated just $1, that's a huge amount for Out Youth. That's a little bit more that they can give towards the LGBT youth in Texas. Everything counts.
All right.
Are we close to the jungle?
Yeah. So here we are at this area. You might have seen there that the boat slows down as you approach the port, and so what I try to do is I try to stop as close as I can to the port without it going too far, because if you go too far, then it'll actually start turning around, and that's slow. But I also don't want it to be I don't want the boat to be slowing down too early, and so that's why I set the port for something later on the map, and then I adjusted later. Now we're into these treehouse areas where we basically just build bridges by solving these panels over here. It's quite interesting, I would say. And we have these star puzzles, which work in a quite interesting way that I will not spoil for anyone who wants to play this game casually. But there's a bunch of puzzles in here. We're going to deal with orange and purple stars, and then we're going to add some green into the mix. I don't think we had any green stars already, but
Hey Max, can I ask you a quick question?
Yeah.
Do you think there are any bananas in this jungle?
I don't see any, but maybe that's because they were all taken in Deltarune, and we need to see all the bananas in Deltarune.
If there were bananas here, do you think you would enjoy taking a bite out of one?
I would. I certainly would enjoy bananas.
Alright.
On these purple bridges, that last one you don't have to actually complete, because of the way that these bridges work. The puzzle that's next actually is kind of set up in front of you, and you can walk on it a little bit. And so with that last bridge and this one right here, we can actually skip the last one, and we only have to solve the second to last one to get through. Now we're dealing with these colored squares with the stars, which makes for some interesting solutions and stuff. And just a little bit more, and then we'll be at the laser for this area. Turn this bridge over here. And then with this, I think this will be our third actual laser, because the areas that we did earlier before this, we actually didn't activate the laser. If you were paying attention, we just did all the puzzles right before getting the laser, and that thing, the box that activates the laser, is way out of the way, and so we're gonna go back to that later. Right now I'm just opening this door so that it is one of the things that opens kind of slowly, and so if we can minimize the time loss from waiting for it, then we can save time. Now we're headed to our next area over here to our right, which is this castle keep area, and head up these stairs, and then we'll get some hedge mazes that we deal with. We can actually just do this one from here, and then this door will open. And then for the others, we'll have to go through these hedge mazes. This area is actually pretty cool because there are two different 2x2 grids of puzzles you can do to get the laser for this area. And obviously we do the one that's faster, which is this side. But on this back side of this little tower area, there's another set of 4 puzzles for us to do. But we just have to do those, and we can head up these stairs, and I hope you remembered the path we took through those 4 mazes, because now we have to insert them onto this panel, all 4 in one. Just like that. Easy. Easy game. Now we head down these stairs, and we can open this door, which gives us a short way back to the shortcut back to the entrance of this. Now we can leave. In this next laser we're getting, there's a whole foresty area with panels that we look at, and they're meant to open this gate, but there's a gap in this gate big enough where you can just see the panel here and insert the correct solution, and that saves a bunch of time. So this area that we were at earlier, you might recognize. We're gonna head back to here. The laser box is all the way back over here, which is why we didn't go get it earlier in the run. And then we just solve this as far away as I can without messing it up, because if I mess it up, then that just messes up the entire run. Or it basically kills the run, because then I'd have to go back here and get the laser. And it really sucks if you have to go back and get something you missed. Now we're... Oh, yeah.
I can go ahead right now?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. So we have a few donations coming in. We've got $5 from Comment with the comment banana, which goes towards Yes Banana in Deltarune. We've got $7.27 from Coral with the comment Banana Lover 727, which also goes to Yes Banana. We've got $25 from Crystal Ships saying Aqua said I had to donate banana emoji dollars, green from Bergie, and that's actually going to Conqueror's Peak. So we're at 213 out of 300 for Conqueror's Peak, and we're at $46 for Yes Banana and $1 for No Banana. So it's pretty one-sided right now, but you could be the one to turn that around. All right.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Max.
Every donation counts. So we're in this town area, and here I'm gonna get myself at a very specific angle to try to snipe these puzzles from afar, which saves the time of having to lower a staircase and extend a bridge. Hopefully I can actually do it fast enough that it saves time. And these last 2 are especially difficult to do. The hard thing about these is that you don't see your line, and you have to go entirely based on feel as to where your line is. And it's
So
really...
when you say feel, is it like, does the cursor stop when you hit a wall, or what?
Yeah, the cursor stops when you hit like a wall and on the sides of the grid. And well, there's like the inner intersections of the grid that I might not be at the good angle to... I don't know. This is very precise. I would say this is the hardest part of the run right here, is these last 2. Because it's so easy to go like an extra space without knowing it. Oh, is that not it? Did I I just want to make sure that I'm like high enough, because you might not be high enough to solve the puzzle. I think this should be high enough now. Sorry it's taking this long. It usually goes better than this, but
No worries, this skip looks incredible to watch.
alright, finally we did that one.
Nice.
And this one hopefully will go faster, but it is just as easy to mess up.
Mind if I read a couple more donations while you're working
Yeah.
on that?
You can do that.
Alright, we've got $12 from Death Control saying, I will pay for my silly joke. Save the banana so K-Rule doesn't take it. Also going towards Yes Banana in Deltarune. And then we've got $20.02 from Flying Ludicolo saying, Super Monkey Ball 2 is a platform party video game developed by Amusement Vision and published by Sega in 2002 for the Nintendo GameCube. The primary objective of the game is to navigate a monkey trapped inside a ball from one end of a stage to the other, collecting bananas along the way. A 2002 study recognized Super Monkey Ball 2 as one of several video games associated with improved performance in laparoscopic surgery. In response to these findings, Dr. James Rosser created a gaming area in the Physicians Lounge at Florida Hospital Celebration Health, saying, I want all the surgeons to warm up and make sure they give Super Monkey Ball a chance. Okay. That also goes towards the bananas, of course.
Nice. So, while you were reading that, I finished all the snipes there. That's a major reset point, as you can probably tell, because you want to get those fast enough that you actually like save time, and it's not easy to do that, obviously. Then we just have to do this. That'll open this. I was actually supposed to do that from a lower level on this tower, but I forgot. But doing it from that higher level on the tower isn't terribly bad. It just loses a few seconds. Now we're done with this town area. And casually, that town area is actually the hardest area in the game, because it takes elements from all the puzzles in the other areas. Takes elements from all the other lasers that you get. And so you have to have knowledge from basically everything else in the game before doing that. Now we're in this monastery area. I think it looks cool. It's got this like tree that's overgrown. If there are any other announcements, now is a good time, I suppose.
Yeah, sure. I just wanted to note that we are, if I'm doing my math correctly, we are $87 away from finishing the incentive to get the secret ending in Conqueror's Peak, which of course has a secret boss fight. So I definitely would like to see that, and I'm sure y'all would like it too. So let's get those $83 in before we end stream today. It'd be fun to finish that tonight.
Yeah, totally. Now we're headed to this jungle area, which has these sound puzzles. And an interesting thing is that I've seen players say that this is the easiest area, and I've seen other players say this is the hardest area. It kind of depends on how good you are with sound puzzles, I guess, as to how easy that is. We're actually gonna leave that and come back later and go to this greenhouse bunker thing. And this one is not sound puzzles, it's color puzzles. And with these panels to start with, we have three colors to deal with. And then over here, these panels are gonna have more than 3 colors. I think these all just have 4. Then we're gonna get a bit more than 4 colors in the next set, which we open this door here. And these are interesting, very clever puzzles that I would not spoil for anyone who wants to play this game. But
Yeah, that specific puzzle is really sick, but I don't want to say anything about it.
yeah,
Even though I think this game is incredible in terms of level design.
yeah, a lot of the puzzles in this game are just like really clever and like really make you think outside of the box. Um, for now, we're just gonna let this elevator go up, and we're not gonna ride the elevator up, but we're gonna come back later and finish the jungle area with the sound puzzles. And the ending to the jungle area is actually positioned really nicely for us to go to where I've just sent the elevator to. So we can kind of get a 2-in-1, 2 lasers in one go synergy sort of thing. Now we have more sound puzzles. And then after this, there will be a cool skip where we open a wall, and if I can manage to do the skip correctly, we can skip going around this wall that spawns right here. I have to make sure I have a good angle. Nice, let's go. That saves, I think, 25-ish seconds. I don't know exactly, but it's a decent chunk of time that obviously you don't want to miss out on the time save there. So fun little.
How precise is that, if you don't mind me asking?
It's hard to describe. It's like, I would say medium precision. Like, it doesn't take too long to learn, but it's still not super easy in my opinion. But once you get enough practice with the trick, it's not too bad. Now we are headed back to this elevator, which is now positioned right here. And then we just raise it up one more level. And then the laser will be activated right here. And we're going to fail this twice. And failing it once will just lower the elevator, have it descend. And failing it a second time will actually lower it faster. And so it's good to get that extra second of time save from it descending faster. And if anybody in chat's been keeping count of the laser count that I have, we're at 10 now. And there are 11 lasers. So this last one over here is the swamp, which casually is probably the longest, but there's this door over here which we can actually snipe and hopefully do quickly. I think I was too far to the left. There's a branch in the way. Something you have to keep in mind with this game. Sometimes branches get in the way. That was wrong.
Just like in real life.
Yes. And then there's a second puzzle here which we have to change our perspective because of the branches. I think I messed up, so I'm just going to retry. Yeah, that was wrong. This is like the snipes I was doing in the town. They're very difficult, but with those there's only 2 of them, so I say it's not that bad. Not as bad, but it can still be very challenging and a reset point, which sucks because it's like a reset point late in the run. But then we get our last laser, and now all the lasers you might have noticed were pointing towards the top of the mountain on this island. It's not 3,000 meters high like this mountain in Celeste. It's a lot smaller than that, and we can climb it in about 45 seconds. So it's not too bad. And now we can sort of get a glimpse of all of the lasers that we've gotten in this game. There's a lot of them. There's this one here. There's a whole bunch over here. And now we can open this box, and then we have this puzzle where it's all based around perspective. You have to get a correct perspective to solve these puzzles or this puzzle, with the statues in the way, it makes it very restricted, and I have to get a specific angle up. And that should do it. And then this box here, we do the second solution for that is giving us access to the final challenge the game gives us for getting all 11 lasers. That'll be at the bottom of this mountain. We're gonna kind of go into the core of the mountain through a series of puzzles here. And so with this room, we drew a line on a panel earlier, and that line is actually a path we take through this room to find puzzles, like the puzzles in this room that we have to do.
Would you classify this area as being somewhat like the heart of the mountain?
Yeah, it's the heart of the mountain. These puzzles are gonna move, and so it might hurt your eyes, just a minor warning. There we go. Then we're gonna retrace our path here, because the door that gets out of here is in a different spot than where we placed the path to exit earlier, because there were some puzzles on another exit that we had to use to get to. And these ones are wacky because there is no nice perspective to look at it from, and for a speedrunner who's used to doing lots of puzzles from unusual perspectives, it's not too bad, but it can still give you some trouble. These puzzles are harder because you can't really see what the puzzle info is. Up here in the next room there are going to be some flashing lights. It's just a warning. It might hurt your eyes to look at. It's not like too bad in my opinion, but it still is flashing lights. So you can kind of get an idea right here from how bad it gets. Alright, with the flashing lights over with, we can go up these stairs and do this really clever puzzle. We start by drawing a line on this end, and on the other side of this room we're going to draw another line. Before we can do that, we have to do this other really clever puzzle that I like, where each panel gives us extra info, but you're drawing the same line on each of these. So you essentially have to find one line that works for all of these panels. It's really interesting. I don't want to gush too much about this game and how you should buy it now, but I really enjoy the puzzles in this game, and if you enjoy puzzles just for the sake of doing puzzles, you will love this game.
So basically what you're saying is go buy it now, right?
Yeah. So you might have noticed the door opens to the side of this room over here, and we have to finagle our lines around with solutions to the puzzle up there so that we can get an exit in this, get to this exit right there. And then we can go down this elevator. This elevator goes pretty slowly, so if there are any donations or anything, now is a great time.
Yeah, I just wanted to take a moment, since we haven't talked about it in a while, not since that race, in fact. ARCHIETHON is benefiting Out Youth, which is a Central Texas LGBT plus youth support group with programs and services to help them develop and function in adulthood. They host a variety of programs and services and provide trainings and resources for LGBT youth and their allies, including parents, teachers, and community members. You can visit www.outyouth.org for more information about them.
Alright.
I'd love to see some more money heading their way. Their programs are incredibly valuable for young queer, trans, gay kids.
Alright. So, that last room was cool because the whole room, the floor just became its own puzzle. Now we've opened up the secret puzzles that the game gives you. I guess they're not that secret, but the game gives you these puzzles for completing all 11 lasers, or activating all 11 lasers in the game. And there's a whole bunch of puzzles here that we could do, but the one we're really looking for is this circular pillar over here, which will allow us to access the true actual final challenge of this game, which is going to be a set of randomly generated puzzles for us to complete on a timer, so we have to speedrun that. And
do we get to hear In the Hall of the Mountain King?
yes, we do. There will be classical music set to the background of this. The first time you hear music in this game. And unlike the entire rest of the run where I was doing every puzzle essentially from memory, this I will be doing not from memory because these are randomly generated. So I will be in focus mode for a lot of this. Try to explain some of what I'm doing for this, though. At the beginning here, these puzzles start off fairly simple. And then this maze, I have to remember the path I take through the maze. I'm just going to use 2, 1, 4, 5, 5. The puzzles in this room show up in a random spot, and so I have to figure out where in the room each puzzle spawns and then solve the puzzle. This is actually being quite nice. It's the first one that I'm looking at each time. As RNG giveth and RNG taketh. You say you have a question?
Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
How come this part has to be done in all lasers? Is all lasers not just the 11 lasers? Is this part of the category?
Well, yeah, this is the final thing that you get for doing all the lasers, and so it's kind of, the community kind of just decided to do it, like have this be the final thing in the run.
Similar to how you go and get the hardened core when you're...
yes, all red berries doesn't just end when you collect the 175th berry. And this one is being not nice. Ooh.
Real quick, while you're solving this, I just wanted to say thank you, Evan's Fight, for the raid. Welcome everyone from there. Real quick, ARCHIETHON is a marathon where Celeste runners play games other than Celeste or unusual Celeste categories. We're benefiting Out Youth, which is an LGBT supportive charity.
So, what I was doing there was I intentionally failed the puzzle to reset the puzzles that I get, and that will hopefully give me easier puzzles. No guarantees, though. This one still doesn't look nice. Oh, there we go. Okay. Now I have to solve these circular pillars. Ooh. This is not going to be nice, is it?
It gave you too much good RNG at the beginning, so I had to take it away here.
Yeah. Oh. Okay, I think this should work. Yep. And then time is when I finish this puzzle here. No. Okay. Is that gonna work? No, it won't. Time. And that was all lasers. We did the challenge, first try, nice. Didn't even get to the Hall of the Mountain King. There's 2 songs that play, and yeah. What was the time on that?
Nice job. That was 39:31.
Nice. I guess shout outs to the Witness community for pushing this game as far as they have. And I guess for any self-promo, you can find me at twitch.tv/MaxSchnell43. And that's about all that I've got. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much then.
Thanks for having me.